when she was in nursing school before she became an RN. She worked doing home health, and that's what her job was. And later on, when I moved her to North Carolina, she became the MDS manager at a skilled nursing facility for Vencor. And that was very hard. So doing the care planning, and these are very sick people. They're in a skilled nursing facility. It is very, very difficult. But I have to tell you, the technology is absent in this field for both the home health and even skilled nursing facilities. It is so archaic, the platforms that they're on. And even at, my wife now works at Johns Hopkins Hospital, and she does medical review. And medical review is chart auditing. The main function of medical review is making sure the hospital gets paid by insurance companies. They're on 3 different systems, and the insurance companies have their own systems. It is unbelievable how Byzantine the whole process is.
It also reminds me of how, like, you know how all the 3-letter agencies, like, if they all pooled their information together, we would have known about 9/11. They had all the individual puzzle pieces, but they couldn't solve it because they didn't have access to it. That kind of reminds me of the healthcare system in terms of...
Yes, they're all siloed. And the other problem with the healthcare system, go ask your provider if you're going to have a procedure done, how much it's going to cost. They can't tell you.
That's true.
Well, this has been a fun conversation. You've been a wealth of knowledge, man. And if you're not worth like tens of millions of dollars, there's no hope for any of us. Like it would, I'm hoping that you're incredibly wealthy, because if you're not, then I have no chance.
I'm not Jeff wealthy, but I do okay.
I'm not even Jeff wealthy, but I do okay. You know, it's funny though. I made the same amount of money every year for the last 10 years. Hey, Tika. Tika. Hey, Beth.
Hello.
What are you doing up so late?
Nothing special. I'm in the late. I can't sleep. I was watching. This room's still up. Well,
Are you guys like a war team?
And there's not a single documented piece of evidence about the rapes.
yeah.
I can't believe that. Like, the way that they lead us. Dude, there's people arguing to this day on this app that people were raped.
I think I heard somebody say that they put babies in ovens, even that, like, which is something that they did to the Palestinians in their massacres that are documented by them.
Here's what they do have. They have 38 witnesses that testified to there being rapes.
The Jews?
Yeah, the Jews have 38 witnesses that testified to being to hiding and witnessing Palestinians rape.
Okay.
A few of those had contradictory, like their testimony contradicted other stuff. But like, what I can't believe is like they had pictures of other things when they were hiding. Why wouldn't they take a photo of that?
Yeah, and I'm not, and if there's like 38 witnesses, and I don't know what report was read to you, but it's like, okay, you have people that clearly did things that they shouldn't have done. However, if you're raping within your prison system as a method of torture and that's systemic, is it equal playing field? If one is like sanctioned by the state and the other one is just random Palestinians that is not sanctioned by Hamas, where Hamas is like making it very clear that this is against our principles?
Yeah.
And not only that, they're raping men. Like
right.
They're putting instruments in men, and the
broomsticks and shit.
Rest of the
broomsticks.
Yeah, it's like the one that everybody was rioting over. That's one thing, but this Dr. Adnan Borsh that was just released a few days ago, who died in April. The fact that they haven't released his body to me is also very telling. Why haven't you given the family his body back? It's been since April.
Yep. It's crazy. It's crazy. And my boy Lou is obsessed with Middle Eastern women. So,
Not all of them.
but it's like, if it was a dish, it would be like French cuisine for you.
No, I don't get it. I don't get it.
Amongst women, you consider it the highest delicacy. It's like caviar.
French cuisine is good.
It's considered the best.
Oh,
Yeah, well, what did you think is the best type of food in the world?
something Italian.
Italian is good, but I mean,
It's not.
you have to understand.
It's not top tier, right? It's like
Or
Italian
potato
is
guy. I don't care.
amazing. You know, it was funny. We're actually looking that up recently. My county was the least affected because we're the British motherfucker.
Least effective
See,
at what?
apparently they
Potato
updated
famine.
GPT-4.
Dude, 1 million people, 1 to 2 million people died, and these fucking Jews have the goddamn audacity to cry about their fucking holidays. Oh, hey, Joy. Hey.
For some reason, I thought that this Joy was Edmund, but I think it's the real Joy.
Is it the real choice?
But they added me like fucking retard.
I don't know. I thought it was Edmund.
I prefer it.
Who the fuck knows?
Oh,
I
is
haven't
that
seen him around, actually. Is he?
Oh, he's hiding in a different form of Clubhouse, but he's still live and streaming.
What, did he just get burnt out on being me?
I think so.
He's a moth to the flame.
I get notifications of his YouTube videos sometimes,
Yeah.
and he's making shorts now
Oh my god.
where he's lip syncing.
He's live streaming right now, so that's totally. Yeah, that's him, motherfucker. Hey, he's in there.
It is Edmund.
It is. I'm looking at it right now. He's fucking faggot.
Wow.
Oh, Joy. That's his YouTube
Yeah,
channel,
that's why
right?
I thought it was Edmund because
No, but he's literally got Joy. Like, I'm a fucking singer songwriter. Blah blah blah. Three actors.
Oh,
It's literally
shit.
him. Fucking faggot.
I knew it was him. That's why I was like trying to.
Put it
But
in
then I
the.
doubted myself. I was like, maybe it's the
on
real
Telegram.
Joy.
But he's just left it streaming. Yeah, like he's just fucked off.
Fucking, he's a relentless motherfucker. We're lucky to know someone like him. Relentless.
Amazing. So you're just gonna let them fucking live stream?
You want me to kick him?
No. Let's just like have a this discussion. Let's write minutes and timestamps as well. Minutes of the meeting.
Oh, you're here. Well, maybe you want me to kick him. I can kick.
Obscene amount of wealth. Like I'm talking about people who have made like 5 to like 20. Like
Okay. That's fine. How many of that,
Hundreds.
and in your experience, when you talk to them without you asking the question, do they use the phrase generational wealth, or are they too busy making money?
Oh, the phrase generational wealth? No, like yeah, but like when I was
So
younger.
that's my point. Anyone who's going to spend time writing a book,
Oh, yeah, no,
or
that I
talking
agree
about generational wealth and talking to a bunch of losers
that
about how to do it is a
100%
terrible
agree with. 100% agree with. I'm just saying that like I grew up in a fairly heavily immigrant community. Like 95% of my friends had immigrant parents like me, and we did talk like at young age.
I'll finally home for this good child.
I'm taking care of.
No, you're not doing any of that.
No.
Well, I can't help you. I just told you I'm a struggling American, so there's nothing I can do. I told you the best thing to do: come across the border illegally, get those.
Be some fraction of them that'll, reach the exact opposite conclusion as what you're putting in front of them, and it might actually generate anti-Semites. That is a possibility, at least if you believe in the unity of our.
That's great. I'm going to get the book. Thank you.
It's interesting. Like, I guess I always looked at it differently because, like, my grandfather fought in World War II. It's like we always looked at it as like it was a German thing. It was like I never felt like, oh, we did it or we did anything. So I don't know.
No, I think Pepe, you're onto something. The leftists in America, their narrative is the dominant culture should feel guilty, right? Like, the reality is that America has done so many good things for the world. America rescued the world from the Nazis and from all kinds of evils. But all leftists in America, they just have to shit on America and say America sucks, because the core of the leftist self-identity, right, is leftists want to feel like they're morally superior to the rest of Americans. So anytime you talk to a leftist, basically the unspoken subtext of all conversations with leftists is, as a leftist, I'm morally superior to you. You are human garbage. I'm better than you. I'm going to prove I'm better to you. Let's talk about our political opinions. And they'll poke and prod to find some political opinion that you have where they say, I've just proven you're a racist scumbag piece of shit because da-da-da-da-da. And see, what's really interesting about that, Pepe, is let's imagine society gives all the leftists everything they want, right? Like, let's say leftists want 1 million impoverished immigrants a year, and they want to double welfare, and they want to give out free drugs. Like, every single thing on the list, leftists can never be satisfied, right? Because if they get everything they want, if society agrees with the leftists on everything they want, then there's no point of differentiation. There's no way. So leftists have to move the goalposts. So I don't want to be disgusting, but like, let's say that the leftists want 50 million impoverished immigrants a year. And the leftists say, let in 50 million impoverished immigrants, give them enough welfare so they can all get a Mercedes and a mansion. And let's just say magically America gives it. America lets in. The leftists would immediately start screaming and crying and saying,
we need 100 million. Now we need 100 million.
Yeah, they would say you have to give them more money, and you're racist if you don't give the immigrants a Ferrari. You're racist, right? Like, there's nothing that society could do. It doesn't matter how generous and loving and altruistic our society gets. Leftists are going to have to keep raising their demands because demands are what they live on. Okay, I'm eager to hear other people criticize my view, but that is.
Well, okay, the two things. One of them you talked about, okay, like, you hate where you come from. It's called oikophobia, and that's actually a book that's just been written not too long ago. And when you also talked about, like, these the silly white liberals that, like, want to feel morally superior, that's called, like, a luxury belief. And it's been talked about before, but most recently it was written about by Rob Henson. Okay, and it's in a book called Troubled. And so he was a guy, a half Asian, half Mexican guy, and he went to Ivy League schools. So make a long story short, he went to school with these Ivy League institutions with these white people who had never seen a black person before. Okay, and so the idea of having this belief is not that they believe it; it's more like, what does it say about you to believe it? That's point number one. And point number two, if you ever have people like that go out and live in the real world, they quickly get disabused of, like, these silly notions. The only people that have, like, these dreamy ideas about, let's say, black people in particular, are the ones that have never worked with them. But then if you work in, like, a factory or an office somewhere with them, or you interact with them on there every day, you become a lot more humble about your assessments of what the situation are. That's what I could say.
Well, I just followed you. I've never met anyone else on Clubhouse who has used the word oikophobia, and it's one of my favorite words. So thank you for using that word. I had an example in my own life that shocked me. Even as a person who thought they understood liberals, it shocked me. So I had a bunch of friends that live in Oakland, right? And there was a beloved local baker. This baker, she happened to be an extreme leftist herself, right? And one of the local teenagers came in and murdered her. And I think the murder was caught on camera. And there was no doubt that this local teen had murdered her. Well, the leftist community of Oakland said, oh, you have to let him go because he's a marginalized person. He's an oppressed person. It's not good to put murderers in jail. If a murderer is from an oppressed group, you can't punish him. And the leftists, this is really interesting, the leftists went to the murder victim's family and said, you have to help us get the murderer set free. If you don't help this murderer go free, you're not a good leftist. You're going to be kicked out of all the leftist groups. And then they went to the friends of the murder victim and said the same thing. And you would think that out of loyalty to their family member and their friend, the leftists would say, oh, this is the exception to the rule. You put this guy in prison. But no, their loyalty to leftism was greater than their loyalty to the murder victim. So from the articles I read, the friends and the family members of murder victim, they went to the district attorney and begged for the murderer to be set free because leftism was more important than their family member. Now, you may think I'm exaggerating, Lee, but I'm going to post some links in the room chat so you can see it. This is.
Do you ever seen like?
No, I know just what you're talking about, and he was sentenced to 7 years for manslaughter. Actually,
there's actually they've done studies on this. So when it comes to the real difference between like right wing and left wing people, one of the big ones is that right wing people will generally, so it's like who they tend to value, and it will be like a bunch of like circles.
Yes, concentric loyalty is what you're talking about. Concentric.
Yes. Yes, you know what I'm talking about. Where basically there's, I mean, my brain isn't quite wired that way, so I just don't understand it.
Value system. It's not even. It's just a different value system. So basically, left-wing people, they favor the out group. So in other words, it's just basically very often if a member of the out group, if a quote oppressed person murders their friends and family, the leftists are on the side of the murderer. I don't think that ever happens among conservatives. But you could read the shit in the.
The theory of moral sentiments. I think that it's a guy named Jonathan Haidt that does a lot about that.
Yeah.
And one of his best books that he wrote was about that. But honestly, I mean, if you see societies like, let's say, China, okay, one of the very first emperor in China, he had like an intellectual class, and they were telling him things that he didn't want to hear. Like what a lot of intellectuals will do. So what he did was he just executed all of them at one time. Every single one of them. It was like 400 people. He just picked them up and executed them. And that's set the precedent for China for like the last 2,300 years since that first emperor. But you do wonder if you see a place like the United States now where you have academics and these guys like run amok and they create a whole bunch of destruction and nobody steps in and checks them. I wonder if Chinese people have the right idea. It's called burn the books and bury the scholars. That's what the proverb is.
I respect very much. I think that as part of that movement, China was exploring the world, and China was set to colonize the world. And if China had continued on that path, we'd all be speaking Chinese now. China would have conquered our hemisphere first. From the books that I've read, China had these giant ships, and it was advancing. And in addition to killing the intellectuals, he burned the Chinese merchant fleet. He closed China off to the outside world.
That's two different things. You're talking about at the Ming Dynasty.
Okay,
and they had like
I'm totally wrong.
Yeah, it's during the Ming Dynasty, which was from 1368 to I think 1644. And so it was a eunuch. His name was Zheng He. And he set up a whole bunch of ships to go around to other places, and he brought back artifacts from those things. And so when the government got a hold of it, they just burned all of it, so they didn't want to be bothered. The one that I'm talking about, Chen Shuang, he was like in the 2nd century before the Common Era. So he was about 1,500 years before the Ming Dynasty, 1,600 years. That was the first Chinese dynasty, and when he had unproductive intellectuals, he's like, this is not helping. He just executed all of them.
Well, you're much more learned than I am. My preference is for all the intellectuals to be allowed to live and continue their work. I value the work of intellectuals. I even value the work of leftist intellectuals. I just don't want them dominating our society. I would hope we could have some compromise where maybe the leftist intellectuals get to control Berkeley and Northern California, and maybe not the whole country.
Well, in any case, I mean, if you read like books about like intellectuals in society, or about like Paul Johnson's Intellectuals, whenever you have something stupid get started, it always starts with a bunch of people talking about something, and then it spins out of control in all these terrible, unpredictable ways. So I think I was reading a book about communism called Heaven on Earth, and it was in that if the first people who started talking about communism, they're like, if the room had caved in on that roof, then the movement never would have happened, because it had to start talking, or it had to be started being talked about by this certain set of people. So, and China is still with us here after 23 centuries and about 1,860 different famines.
Well, I agree with all the facts you've laid out, but I would respectfully come to a different conclusion. It is true that intellectuals invented communism, and communism did kill 100 million people. I grant you that. However, intellectuals have found a lot of worthwhile things over the years. And so I kind of feel like in my preferred world, we have intellectuals. Some of their ideas suck, some of them are good, but they're allowed to live and present their ideas.
So, but yeah, so there, I think that's the takeaway of the room: unity of opposites. The more you talk about something, then you'll create it its exact opposite. So, all of this like DEI garbage and all of this foolishness, that's what got votes for Donald Trump. And so it'll be interesting to see how this plays out over like the next 4 years or so. Because in that book that I mentioned earlier, the Yasha Monk book, he said that when Donald Trump ran the first time, he's like, left-wing people, they turned on each other because they did, they devoured each other alive. And that has happened before in other situations.
Well, I mean, in the past, I believe the Democratic Party in the recent past has been an alliance of two groups, right? It's been an alliance of working class people that just wanted a better economic deal, and intellectuals who wanted to change society in a leftist way. Now, what I believe happened in this election is the two groups started to hate each other, right? The intellectuals pushed things too far, and a huge percentage of workers of all races and all religions said, we don't want to be in an alliance with intellectuals anymore. The intellectuals, they're just too freaky. So I think the Democratic Party has cleaved apart, and
I think, can I offer some,
yeah, of course, let me silence myself for a woman. Absolutely.
just for like 2 seconds. I think that it wasn't the working class and intellectuals. It was liberals, socialists, and overall Marxists that aligned themselves together.
What the fuck
And
was
the
that?
liberals and the Marxists.
In the house, so it's 7 people in the house and only 3 bedrooms. And they would sleep on the floor. They would sleep on the couch. Like one of the brothers would sleep on the floor in the kitchen on a cardboard box.
Damn, on a cardboard box.
Yeah, I mean, he was literally high. He was high all the time, so I guess he didn't feel it. But that was his
You
spot.
can't find a blanket?
I don't know, like people.
It rains.
How do I feel when it rains?
Yeah, do you like go in this hierarchy of vibe? Is that like something that's naturally that you always naturally enjoyed, or is it something that involved kind of with the process? Because you probably have so much peace and comfort associated to that specific sound, or that vibrance, or that feel. Right.
No, it's about letting go. It's a letting go of your thoughts. You kind of dissolve whatever you think you are, dissolves in the sound of the rain. And then from there, you're just not even yourself no more. You're nothing. You're just existing. It's a way of getting away from who you think you are. that makes any sense. And what Proof said, I've done that as well. Meditating in front of a bonfire opens all your nerves and you'll breathe well. Yes, I've done that as well. I can account for that.
Oh, I actually practice fire therapy. It's a yogic practice called Homa or Agnihotra. I was trained to do it in India. I can teach the technique, give you all the information you need to know for it, and it magnifies your mantras. It helps to bring up the prana of the mantra even more. It's more like it like magnetizes it. It works faster on cleansing your aura and all that good stuff, which is really useful if you're a sex worker or do anything that has prolonged contact with people, like I do with massage.
Double.
And I want to share a mantra in the
Who knows the truth?
chat. It's a really good one that I think would be absolutely wonderful to do the full breath to. There you go. I'm counting a little bit because I'm getting sweaty on the scare climber thing.
I'm looking at your page.
Oh, my website?
No, your Instagram.
Oh. Yeah, the first two images of the bendy girl is not me. I've pissed people off by admitting it's not me. They'd be happier to have their fantasies that it's me. That, oh, she's so bendy. It's like, yeah, I am, but I'm not that deep of a backbender, unfortunately. I can bring one foot at a time to the top of my head, but I can't go that far as she does with the back bend.
Yoga is also a form of meditation, like the poses and all of that stuff. It helps release the mind.
That is right, my friend. I need you to co-teach with me. I need your...
And I can't believe I removed his username.
Oh, hey.
When I took a screenshot.
Fucking faggot.
This guy posts a lot of hunting photos, but look at that nose, dude. Jesus Christ.
It's like the oh yeah.
There's a guy I follow that I don't remember why I started following him, but he posts about hunting all the time, and I'm like, does this guy not know what he is?
That's right. Yeah, the white guy I know, he doesn't look as fucking like he doesn't look as like Middle Eastern and stuff, but he has a nose like that.
Okay.
He's obsessed with money.
I had a business partner that used to he would walk like a mile to avoid paying like a $1.50 ATM fee. Like that's when I started.
This person isn't cheap. They're actually, in a way, they're obsessed with money, but they're also terrible with it, which is weird. And they also, maybe they're not a Jew, and they love to be sold, right? They love to go into you go in to buy a new bathroom, or you go into they love to let the salesman feed their ego because it makes them feel big, and ends up you go into the.
Yehud, is this here live?
It's okay, Soka. Yeah, thank you. Nathan, mute up. Nathan, mute up. There's one point I do agree with Nathan. It is disingenuous to compare Gaza with the Holocaust.
It's not.
Listen, Soker, it is because I will tell you, I'm going to explain to you. What's happening in Gaza is probably 1,000 times worse than what happened in the Holocaust. Okay? The kind of criminality, the brutality, the barbarism that we are witnessing today, it was not happening during the Hitler regime. Hitler was more humane than these Zionists that we see today. Hitler was more, he had a methodology. He has a method to the madness. Here, there is no method to the madness. Hitler at least gave a soup bowl to every Jew You know, there was a routine, there was a regime where soup bowl and biscuits and bread were given regularly to the Jews. Here they are denying even that. So tell me, Soker, how are the two comparable? It's impossible to compare the two. Holocaust is, literally an amateur work compared to the professionalism of the Israelis that we are seeing today in Gaza. And just going back to the aid trucks, Israel has been starving Gazans for 17 years, even before October 7. There were huge blockades. There was siege on basic items, basic necessities of life. So Hitler never did that. So how is it comparable to Hitler? Hitler never did that, Soker. Hitler never did that.
Fayaz, listen. I'm a person who can sit here and admit that, what happened in the Holocaust was disgusting. Hitler is disgusting. But I'm not going to sit here and compare atrocities and say, you know what, hey, what's happening in Palestine is worse than what's happening in, Congo, or what's happening in Palestine was worse than what was happening in the Holocaust. Each one is a tragedy with its own history. And I'm not going to sit here and compare tragedies and say, that. But at the end of the day, the bottom line is that you guys are no better than fucking Hitler. And you guys are no better than the fucking Nazis. So get off of your fucking high horse and just accept reality.
That's where, Soker, that's where I disagree with you.
Accept reality.
We're no better than the Nazis. That's where, no, Soker, that's where I disagree with you, Soker. I respectfully disagree.
White man cosplaying as a fucking Jewish because he has a fucking identity crisis.
Can I
That's where I
guys, hold on, can I just say something? Because I don't want us to go down this path, okay? I know where everyone's coming from, and I understand where all of you guys are coming from. I know that after the Holocaust, Jewish people said never again, and the history was taught as it should have been, because any type of atrocity, whatever the level is, it's wrong. I'm never going to do this oppression Olympics. It's fucking wrong. It is wrong on every goddamn level. What's so fucked up is to have said never again, for there to be memorials, and rightfully so, for it to be taught, it to be spoken of, and Holocaust survivors to have been honored. And there are those unfortunate same people that are unfortunately having to see their own government, who claims to be Jewish, carry out atrocities in their name. I mean, I can go ahead and provide a lot of this information in this chat when I park, Nathan. You can see people who are Jewish, who are devout, they are absolutely mortified that their government, who says they're an ethno-state, is carrying out atrocities in their name when they said never again. That is a problem here, to have suffered. I don't know if it's a Stockholm syndrome, like what that terminology is.
No, it is never again.
Hold on, Nathan. No, it's not. Nathan, don't do this. Never again means don't do it to fucking anybody. It doesn't mean it shouldn't happen to us. It means, hold on. No, don't listen. Do not do it to anybody. Never again doesn't mean don't let it happen to us. Then if that's the narrative, then is the Israeli government any better than Hitler's government? To be like, I want to preserve myself at the cost of others, because that's exactly what Hitler wanted to do. He wanted to create an Aryan race and blame the Jews for everything. At whose cost? So let me just say this, because I am not one of those people that's ever going to minimize anyone's suffering. And don't you dare, Nathan, get off this fucking mic and think that you're going to minimize the suffering of Palestinian people at the hands of Israel, this government who said never again. Last but not least, if you know anything, let's talk about the Warsaw ghettos. Do you want to look at how food was given to them and how much was given to them? Yeah. So if I'm using your argument, then I'm going to say, oh no, there was no starvation in those Warsaw ghettos, because they were given a loaf of bread to share among 12 people. Okay? And that is going to be the logic that you die on, because that's the logic you're using. And if we use the same logic, you're going to run to anti-Semitism. So please don't. Please don't do it. Don't. I don't know what you. I don't know what your
intention is not to minimize the suffering.
Hold on. Whatever the fuck. Sorry, Fayaz.
No, we had this conversation earlier on today when you were not in the room, and he made a comment. For example, he said, Palestinian women are giving birth right now, during the crisis, during the last 1 year. That shows that there is no genocide in Palestine. Okay?
That's not what I said.
That's what you meant. You might have
No,
used
that's not
a
what I
different
said.
set of words.
No, you're misrepresenting me right now, Fayaz. So, respectfully, you're misrepresenting me. I gotta touch one thing at a time, and I'll touch on that in a moment because I do want to respond to Coach
So I'm
Yates
not
about
going to. Okay, Nathan. I'm not going to go back to that. I'm not going to go back to that. But let me just add on to what Ace said. Ace is there, or she's left?
No,
Okay, Ace is left. Okay, doesn't matter. The point is, never again. I don't know. Ace, never again. They meant it for themselves. They will never become victims, but they will victimize. That's what they meant. And I don't give. I'm sorry. If people think that I need to be politically correct every time I make a statement, that's not going to happen with me. I'm going to say what I'm going to say. Yes, the Holocaust was a horrific, horrible, chapter in the history of humanity. Hitler was a devil. I agree to all that. I even believe that 6 million Jews were killed. I also believe that 6 million non-Jews were also killed in that incident in the Holocaust. But somehow they get invisibilized. They never get mentioned anywhere. Even the Holocaust museums do not mention those non-Jews that were killed by Hitler. So somehow, surprisingly, then they come back here and say that we mean never again means for everybody. No, they meant never again meant only for the Jews, nobody else. Everybody else can go to hell, literally. So they never meant that. And I'm not going to, hesitate to make this a statement time and again whenever I get an opportunity, because what they meant was for themselves and not for the humanity in general, in at large, it's not like that. So they can victimize, but they cannot be victimized. But they will call themselves as victims. This I am the victim card is displayed at every nook and corner of their history. And then, you talk to anybody, he will say, you are attacking me because I'm a Jew. No, I'm attacking right now. If I criticize Nathan, I don't criticize Nathan because he's a Jew. I criticize him because he's literally gaslighting. He's literally relying on Israeli media, which is basically doing propaganda, and he is getting into that propaganda, So that's why I criticize Nathan. I don't even know if Nathan is Jew, for example. I don't know. If he claims he's a Jew, I just believe that he's a Jew because he claims so. If somebody else says that he's a Buddhist, I would take it at face value. I don't care if that person is a Buddhist. So that's the point. That's the problem with people like Nathan. That they talk only on behalf of one. They don't want anything else to be, reaching out to people. Like, for example, if you say from the river to the sea, they will say you are anti-Semitic, you want all the Jews to be eradicated and so on. But then they will not talk about the same statement in the Likud Party's charter, which says that there shall be no Palestinian state and there shall only be an Israeli state from the river to the sea. Nobody criticizes that. Yes, you agree with that. So you don't want a Palestinian state there.
No,
so why should we
all.
believe? No, I mean, you just said you agree with that.
Then you're
I agree. Yes,
bro.
absolutely. I believe in a one
terrorist.
Jewish state. I believe in a one Jewish state solution, and I want the Palestinians to have residency and to live there and to be a part of Israeli society.
Okay,
I want them to be
nice.
a part of it as long as they're not trying to destroy the state of
Very
Israel.
nice, Nathan.
I don't want to.
Why not have a Palestinian state where I'm sure Jews can also live? If they give up their
what I believe.
Fayaz, there's actual Palestinian Jews in the West Bank.
Indigenous Jews have lived there, not the Ashkenazis. Not the Ashkenazis, not the Mizrahis.
Fayaz, I'm trying to tell you something. Listen, this is actual fact. There's actual Palestinian Jews who live in the West Bank that you can actually go on YouTube and you can see them literally telling or like cursing and spitting on the IDF and telling them to get out of their places. Like, there's actual Palestinian Jews.
Wow.
Edmund is back.
Of course it is. I'm looking at this Joy Now Joy. Is that the new one? I'm gonna follow it.
He followed me and I followed him back and then he unfollowed me, so I unfollowed. I was like, okay.
Joy Now Joy.
I'm glad you moved on from your, what is it called? Diego DDS syndrome? What's the second word supposed to be? Derangement. Diego derangement syndrome. I'm glad you moved on from that, Joy.
Yeah.
But you did get very popular over it, so congratulations.
Yeah, you gained lots of follows. That was incredible. Yeah, I mean.
He doesn't want to talk. I don't know if I want to hear myself on YouTube since I'm a little bit sick.
Ryan sounded odd too.
Yeah, we're both sick. Sounds like it. Who sounds sicker, Ryan or me?
Ryan.
Okay. Yeah. Did your cough go away, Diego?
Yeah, but not before. I mean, it went away, and then I traveled a little bit, and it went, and I got super allergic.
Wow.
Yeah, and then now I'm kind of coming off of that.
Yeah, allergies are out of control.
And I hate allergies. Hate me here. Did you see what happened to Jay Leno?
Oh my god. And he continued his comedy show.
Yeah, but he's like he's worth $500 million. Why would he stay at a Hampton Inn?
Yeah, I know somebody was asking that.
And then why would he be walking down the? It makes no sense. This story sounds full of shit.
Yeah, it's crazy. Hampton Inn.
Oh, well, I like the Hampton Inn too, for the record. I actually really like Hampton Inn.
What is what?
My dad.
What is it?
My dad told me about Hampton Inns like when I was a young man driving across the country, and he said like you never go wrong. They have a very good standard quality. You know, you pay a little extra, but it's a good quality.
Okay. So it's
hotel.
Hilton. It's Hilton.
It's now owned by the Hilton. I don't think it was owned by the Hilton back then, but.
Got it.
Yeah.
The hotels can be very, very gross if you just think about it, the people that are in it.
Yep.
Even the highest.
I don't know why. Philip, you came in at a weird time. Like, Jeff has brought up the butthole eating like 10 times over the last 10 days.
Phil knows that.
Yeah.
It's my go-to. Anyway, guys, I gotta go. I'm going to class. See you later.
Hey, good luck. Have a good night.
Peace out, man. Oh, VK, I don't think anyone's saying, like, if you're licking buttholes, you're doing well. Like, I don't think it's a doing well doing.
Right? In a sense. And this is what they're saying. Well, what do you make of that? And then they're all saying that, not just a few of them, most of them. I understand they're part of the Democratic Liberal Party, but not everybody that's part of the Dems has to condemn it. And especially them, they should stay out of it. So what do you make of it? They seem passionate.
It's similar to the 78%. 79%, whatever the self-hating Jews.
I know, but just because you're a Democrat does not mean you oppose Israel. Since when do those two go hand in hand?
Well, lately they have, unfortunately. These are October 7th liberals.
Bernie's always opposed.
Bernie
Yeah,
is
forget
always
him. He
opposed.
just
Chuck's
he's
been
an
talking
outlier.
shit about
He's an
Bibi
outlier.
for a while. Chuck doesn't oppose Israel. Chuck supports Israel. He just opposes Bibi. You guys make a big deal about it. A really big deal. Big. Get over it. Anyway, he's out. I'm kind of sad Chuck is out. Are you not sad?
Yeah, I wish he'd be not my senator. We need you in New York so you can turn the tide. You said you were going to move like a year ago. Nothing happened. You're all talk.
No, because I had a boyfriend there, Yakov, and we broke up.
Yeah, but don't you want to be... Oh, no, we went through this. You don't want to be a doctor, huh? I didn't know you...
I do want to be a doctor. I'm practicing in a hospital right now.
No, sorry, I didn't know you were moving because of a boyfriend. I thought you just wanted to move.
No. You was the precipitating factor. There were other opportunities that arose. It could have aligned.
Address like the issues. You don't have to be just evil to them for no reason. Or am I wrong?
No, that's correct.
Yeah, it's like how are you benefiting us in any way?
Yeah. No reason to be nasty.
Yeah, I mean Daniel thinks that I'm Hitler's wife. He calls me Eva. But I was like, hi, Daniel, how are you? I'm like, no.
Calls you Ava, you are
He's in
Ava.
Israel right now, actually.
Daniel?
Yeah, he's in Israel.
He always is, isn't he?
I think he's normally in Germany, right?
Actually, no, I always thought he was in Israel.
Oh.
But yeah, it makes sense. Like, none of these people are actually, like, when you're leaving your country that often, like, you're not.
Yeah. Like one of the Jewish people one time had said that they're not going to Israel, and I talked to them a little bit more, and I realized they actually do want to be in Israel. They just don't want to go there because of safety, but as soon as they're able to, they are going to go there. I'm like, oh, okay, never mind.
What did you think that they meant by that, or what?
I think when they first said it in the room, because then I asked them about it like later, they were trying to make it seem as if they're not connected to Israel, but they really are. They were just placating to the room. Diasporism.
Diasporism.
Diasporism. Diasporism. Ryan, what was the type of band that you said? What is it? Mariachi band?
Mariachi band?
Yeah, what is that, Diego? Like, what's his name? Ryan is saying that you play mariachi band music a lot. What? Did you hear me? Here's my phone messed up. Let's see. He sounds like Shakira. Bésame means kiss me, right?
Bésame, bésame mucho.
Edmund, why are you not talking?
I don't know. What do you want to talk about?
Why did you make a new account?
Because the other one got clipped.
No, it's still there.
I know, but I don't have, I do these on burner phones, so I don't have that telephone number to get the account back after the suspension is lifted.
Oh.
So it's.
Do you feel like you should apologize to Diego for using his identity for fame?
No, this is a non-playable character. I mean, I can't believe they even clipped me, to tell you the truth. Like, that one was a surprise, but, the whole thing to me was I wanted to do whatever I could do for the election, and I achieved those goals. I really disrupted a lot of rooms, and I was going in room after room for weeks saying, go to the gym, fatties, fatties, go to the gym, gym, fatties, go to the gym, fatties, vote Trump, go to the gym, like, that was my mantra, and I injected that into so many people on this app, and I heard Goat Gagosian, aka Thugga Biden today. I mean, they're really crazy people on this app, in this world, and in the real world, they're not dangerous, but they sound dangerous on this app, But really, everybody on here wants power. I don't know. It's so hard to say because like I'm like trying to do a social clout chasing, experiment. And a lot of these other people aren't even really trying to like build up any kind of a following or something in terms of like communication. So I don't know. I mean, some people are well off and they have time to espouse their intellectual opinions, but who knows what'll happen to this app? I mean, all my YouTube accounts, I'm gonna like call them like Clubhouse the movie or something, and just like let it sit out there because like if this app gets bought up or shut down or integrated or I don't know, who knows, I mean, a lot of
But it's
shit.
smart to upload things to YouTube. That way you don't have as much. You don't have to worry about your storage.
Oh, I know. It's the same thing with a dash cam on a car. I just live stream when I drive my car straight to Instagram. People who do memory dash cams are stupid. You could just live stream if you got an unlimited data plan. So it's a good thing for insurance because if you go on YouTube and you see the car insurance scams out there, people will literally pull up in front of you on the highway and hit their fucking brakes. Like that's how petty the scams are. Yeah, video footage
It's playing the long game.
Yeah, video footage is the way to go. No matter what you do artistically, you can't top video. It's way more hypnotic than just pictures because you're talking about millions of pictures compressed into an experience as like if you ever go to the MoMA or the Art Institute or any of these major museums, you could look at a Salvador Dali and you're like, meh. It's like old and tiny, but if you enhance it, if you expand the image, it's a much more attractive image. So this is why the pictures business or the movie business is such a big business. I mean, right now I'm watching an 8-hour video of dolphins in Hawaii, and when you look at what these dolphins are doing, they're just like chilling. And they're predating, they're eating, they're like targeting food, and they're in a barren environment, and they're just constantly on the scan for what they can pick up off the surface of the ocean. So that I think that metaphor of the dolphins and what humans are doing.
Oh wow!
What the hell was that?
That was a clip of me.
How do you say a virgin pussy?
Who was I asking that to?
Sorry guys, I didn't hear anything. What? Who played that? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, the clip game is fun, but I don't know. At the end, I think what you guys are doing is you guys are just hypnotizing yourselves, and no matter how many news articles come up or whatever happens in the conflict everywhere. I mean, you guys are just like a pack of dolphins. You guys are doing the same thing that the other people are doing. Princessia, there's an echo.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you're just doing the same thing that they're doing. You're not doing anything original, is what I'm trying to tell you. You're the exact opposite of what they're doing.
Talking to me, what I'm trying to say is that the way that you're talking to me in this childish manner is the exact same reason why you don't have a wife and children.
Actually, see, this is the problem, Princessia. You're gonna run into me is everything you play back to me. I'm gonna say, God damn, that was pretty smart. It's not stupid what I say. Everything I hear back, I'm like, yeah, I'm not as stupid as some people think I am, or maybe I'm not as stupid as I think I am. But there are times where I have said things on this app, and I'm like, God damn, that's smart. So play it all back all you want. It's not going to make you sound any smarter, though. That's the problem.
I'm gonna stick my balls in your mouth, nigga.
Well, that's not me. That's the rabbi. And in fact, a Jordanian restaurant opened just 2 blocks away from my house. It's called Jarash. And I've been to Jarash in Jordan.
Roughly translates to ball mouth.
No, I'm not sure what it means. Jarash. What is it? But anyways, it's Jordanian food, or it's Arab Mediterranean. It's unbelievable. Everyone can agree that good food is good food. And so, you guys are just complaining about pizza, and apparently you don't like burritos or steak or chicken. I mean, what are you guys complaining about this evening?
They don't make Doritos the way they used to, It doesn't taste the same.
You are the kind of guy that eats Doritos and Cheetos, huh?
Wait, what doesn't taste the same?
Doritos.
I don't. Well, maybe. Well, you might be right.
I like to take Doritos and then I like to sprinkle, I put them in a bowl, then I put Tabasco sauce on them. Then I toss them and put more Tabasco until I've made sure that every, thing has Tabasco on it. And then I repeat the process, but with lime juice.
The ranch or the cheese?
Do you drink with these Doritos?
Are we talking about ranch Doritos or cheese?
I'm talking about regular Doritos, the regular classic nacho cheese Doritos.
Oh, okay, nacho cheese. Right back.
Yes. And then I eat that.
You should try plain Lay's potato chips with buttermilk.
I don't do potato chips. I never liked them. I always thought they were terrible. And then I heard that they cause leaky gut.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that people get the shits with potato chips.
No, that's with the artificial chemical they have in some of the potato chips. I don't remember what that's called, but...
You know what I'm talking about, though, right? That people were getting, I guess they were sharding or something.
No, that was like a chemical that was in there. But if you just get regular kettle cooked, plain potato chips and shit that's says they're whatever, I mean, there's not much additives. I mean, it's just deep fried fucking potatoes. Where's the potato farmer in here? The potato.
No, but explain to me this. Why is it? why is it that I like French fries? I like French fries or potato wedges.
Yeah.
I just don't like potato chips. I don't know. It's something about them. It's not pleasant to me.
Well, have you ever had a potato chip that's half hard, half soft? It's it's delicious.
Jesus. Also, am I crazy in saying that potato chips tend to be more salted than Doritos?
Doritos have artificial flavorings, artificial powders, artificial preservatives. They're horrifically chemicalized fucking pieces of potatoes. And whatever the potato product is that's covered is most likely still not even a potato. Who the fuck even knows what a Dorito is? Do you? It could be soybean. Who the fuck knows?
No, a Dorito is a tortilla chip.
Oh, so it's a corn chip. It's a corn chip, but it's not all corn. It could be a composite.
True. But I'll tell you, corn is terrible for you. But the real bad one, the one that you really want to stay away from, and I tend to think they're pretty tasty, but they're fucking horrendous and they will destroy my gut, is the Takis.
Oh yeah, the spice nuts.
Those Takis will just fucking destroy you.
Let me ask you. I know you don't know this because I know they don't have it in California, but I'm still gonna ask. Do you know what grippos are?
No.
Pardon, Will. Do you know what grippos are?
Grippos.
Grippos, like
BBQ chips.
Yeah, they're like a delicacy in Kentucky.
Is
Yeah.
Flavored potato chips. See, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, all that stuff potato chips.
At the McDonald's, at the Walgreens checkout aisle, they have Shaquille O'Neal candies, and they're just like gummies. But when you look at all the chemicals in there, the Zorthobate gum, the Red 6, Yellow 7, Orange 5, it's like all these chemicals.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck, you must be really depressed and you want to eat that shit. Or you're a kid and you see the picture of Shaquille O'Neal's big head and you're like, oh, I can't wait to eat a piece of Shaquille O'Neal sugar candy, triple coated in sugar powders, full of
What
16
about alcohol?
different...
What kind of things are in alcohol?
Ethanol. Do you know what that is chemically?
No, seriously, they're like these weird preservatives.
No.
Chemicals
When you go to a bar and there's 60 bottles on the shelf, every bottle is like 10 to 80% ethanol, and then there's flavoring and coloring, and then the rest is marketing. There's no fucking difference. Even with beer, because beer is still 6% ethanol. The rest is water, flavoring, and coloring, and it's generally hops. But you can get wheat beers, but hops is the big ingredient.
I mean, is there not those crazy chemicals in alcohol that you're talking about?
You need to get somebody who really understands breweries and wines and all that stuff and chemistry, because it's all chemistry. It's a big business.
Yeah. I didn't really like my chemistry problems when I talked about proofs.
This is why people are cultured, because they actually understand chemistry. That's why the Germans became so powerful. They understood chemistry. Who do you think created beer?
Diego, I'm laughing at myself for thinking the monkey martyred himself.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Let me tell you this. Something I find very interesting about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict is that on the one hand, the Palestinians are dying, but they are probably not on any drugs because they're too poor to afford them. So they're seeing the horrors of war, but completely sober, right?
Yeah.
And then on the other hand, the increase in medication consumption in Israel just in the last 4 months has gone through the roof. So these Israelis are they're not suffering losses, but they're increasingly disconnecting from reality. I mean, I guess someone like our Jewish friend John would probably say that they're just accessing higher planes of existence. But they're when you go on their personal, if you go on Instagram and you look at these people consuming these meds, they're upset. They don't look like they're accessing God, dude.
Well, you have
like they're very upset.
So we're talking about pharmaceutical medicine, not illegal drugs, right?
Pharmaceuticals, yeah.
Yeah, but Diego, how do you know what they're consuming? How do you know what
I
they're
worry about them,
consuming, and what
Vanessa. I don't want
specifically are you talking about?
hold on, Joy. That's actually one of my concerns for Leslie. Is like I'm afraid that these other people are gonna start coming in and like pushing this pharmaceutical industry on them and use them as guinea pigs for like more drugs.
Pharmaceuticals, they don't even have modern plumbing. They're living in tents.
Yeah, but like I worry that people are gonna come in and just be like, oh, this child.
What do you
has
think?
been
Some
sent
chick
with
named
medicated
Sarah's gonna come
children.
in and say, "Hey, I'm a rep for Pfizer. Can I tell you about a new product we're offering
No,
your
I'm
insurance
serious. Like,
provider?"
I really do foresee that happening to them, and it concerns me.
They're already vaccinated for polio. What do you think that was all about?
But Diego, the fact that the Israelis that aren't going through this stuff are on these medications, and the Palestinians are going through the worst of worst, and hopefully aren't being medicated. What is it that you're drawing from the contrast?
He's making a joke. He's saying the Jewish delusional people are taking psychiatric medications.
I'm not making a joke.
You're not
No, I think
making
it's
a
something very
joke?
serious. It's very serious.
You honestly think Palestinian fighters aren't using Adderall and other neurotransmitters, like, drugs to engage in warfare? Do you not know how to fucking fight? The fuck planet do you live on?
First of all, let's get this clear. Like, Israel and Hamas don't really like go against each other. That's not how this war really works.
Well, what is the conflict?
You get that, right?
Well,
No,
explain,
dude.
explain to
Hamas
me what I
went
don't
to
apparently
tunnels while they get
understand.
bombed.
Joy, let him speak, because I feel like this is really important, and don't troll.
He's
like,
making
this
the
is serious.
delusional statements now. What the fuck are you talking about?
No, he's not. You didn't even hear him land.
Look, I just posted the link from
I
Temps.
didn't hear him land. Listen, clubhouse flight attendant. Go ahead and fucking make your point, Diego. The fuck?
It says here, let me read this article to you. It says, Health Minister Uriel Busso says that the country is in the midst of its worst ever mental health crisis amid the ongoing war. We are experiencing the largest mental health event that the state has ever known since its establishment. A crisis that requires us as a state and as a society to change perceptions and upgrade the public mental health system once and for all to meet the challenges posed by this war and the future.
Insane.
Well,
So,
what's your point, though? I don't understand.
look, dude, he literally used the word perception. Have you ever heard of the doors of perception?
Yeah.
Okay. So, he who holds the keys to perception
No, I get it.
controls the narrative.
I
All
get
language
it.
of hypnosis.
I get it. The thing is, I was driving to the gym earlier, and the NPR was doing an interview with what I could tell clearly was an overweight woman who claims that she was a general family practitioner. And she was saying, if you're having a mental health problem, you need to go to your family practitioner immediately and be the frontline doctor. But the whole thing is based off of a business or an insurance billable. So, real mental health therapy, can't the internet solve anything other than getting a package from Amazon or eBay? I mean, I know BetterHelp is essentially a scam and psychic, I mean, can't the internet provide mental health therapy or at least depression or anxiety relief? I mean, I think the only way you can do it is with education and the gym.
But like, think about it this way. Like Diego was saying,
Think about that.
In Gaza, they're going through genocide. They're seeing limbs everywhere, and they're not getting quote mental health. But then you have like societies where they're just living regular lives, and they want mental health help.
Dude,
Therapy.
Israel
Like,
is
there's something
losing
wrong.
no one. No one is dying in Israel, and yet they're having a mental health crisis.
Yeah.
Think about this. It's amazing.
I know, but you're talking about
you're
talking about a herd population that is now, essentially stressed out. There's a lot of anxiety from the conflict.
Oh my God.
Anxiety that they haven't killed enough.
Well, I'm sure it's a double-edged sword. I'm not disagreeing with you that if the statistics actually say, that there is an increase in psychiatric or psychological disorders as a result of the conflict, I don't think that is a fucking like big, wow. I mean,
But think
okay.
about this. Think about this. So when Yakov or Daniel told me, "Oh, we'll just, Israel has a right to defend itself. We'll just attack whoever attacks us." Like, am I supposed to take it seriously, or is that the lunatic ravings of a madman? You see what I'm saying? Like, are they delusional? I think they are. I think they.
You can only counterattack, with what you have, and who knows what the real numbers are. But I mean, Israelis are pretty fucking serious, and when you see the videos of some of the, people in command and how essentially how well trained they are, and if they really have,
dude, we've all seen Seinfeld. We know that when you say, Jews are pretty serious, like we imagine Jerry, Elaine, Kramer, and Costanza.
that's
I don't
the
know
difference.
how serious those people can be.
Listen, I've been to Israel, and these people don't fuck around. Like, they don't fuck around, and a lot of them are in great shape, and they're highly trained
I've been
soldiers.
to Israel too, and yeah, they do fuck around. I've been to Israel. They fuck around.
Yeah, fuck
It's
around
like a
and find out. I
fraternity,
don't
dude.
understand. What's your point, though? Like, they know how to drop rockets from jets. Do you?
Okay, that's because their daddy, the actual
Daddy
serious,
bought him a fucking F-45. I don't listen. This is the point: is that you can go down this tunnel for years and years and years, but it doesn't benefit me. I mean, I'm trying to at least create content. I don't see how it benefits you. Like, what is your point to the? What's your point, though? I could understand if you're an activist for peace, but you don't strike me as a peace activist, and Brincesia doesn't strike me as a peace activist either. I mean, that's why I say go to the gym. I mean, I've already voted Trump, so I won't say that anymore. But I would just say go to the gym and read a book. Like, otherwise, you guys, in my opinion, when you criticize the Jews as being neurotics or full of, mental health problems, you are a hypocrite because you yourself are doing the same stupid thing. Don't you see how you're a
think I have
hypocrite?
a mental health problem?
No, I'm saying you're a hypocrite.
Okay.
That's the end of the.
But
That's the end
I'm
of
a
our
hypocrite.
argument.
I'm not taking antidepressants.
Well, good for you. I don't care what you do for your health. There's just common sense approaches. If you're gonna go and take, modern pharmaceuticals, you're stupid.
I'm kind of worried, Joy, that you're so accepting of this industry, and you don't it's kind of telling. It's reflect about your life.
Try to put together a coherent statement or a sentence. What.
Yeah, but everything that you've just been saying in context of what Diego brought up was about mental health and this industry. Like, you're a proponent of it, clearly.
Of psychiatry?
Yeah.
No, I'm not endorsing psychiatry. I think it's causing much more damage and harm than it is causing any kind of good.
Okay, so then the fact that you have a society in Israel that's increasing their intake of these pharmaceutical drugs,
You're talking about a news story, which is essentially a publicity piece for the industry. That's not how the majority of these Jews in Israel feel. A lot of the Orthodox there, they don't trust any of this shit because they're smart enough. They use their ancient manuscripts first, and then they say anything else, it's got to be an emergency.
Yeah, but they're going to infiltrate. The Orthodox is kind of, my understanding is they're marginalized there, right? Second, even if they're not marginalized, they're being infiltrated by this industry as well.
The standard of living in Israel is very high compared to what's happening in the United States of America.
Really?
I assure you.
That was not the impression that I got.
It's not great everywhere, but if I'm just saying it's a beautiful. I've been to Jordan, I've been to Israel. It's just a beautiful part of the world. It's indisputable. And
indisputable.
It's beautiful. It's just
I'm surprised,
gorgeous.
Diego, that you didn't see the natural beauty there. I guess the place that you went to is, I don't know, synthetic.
It's still a very free part of the world, but the problem is there's violence, and nobody likes violence, and America is no different. That's why I say you're hypocrites, because Chicago has 40 murders every weekend. Every weekend. That's more than the numbers that are even happening in Gaza right now. So,
What?
Yeah.
Don't lie about the numbers in Gaza.
Do you know the numbers? I don't know the numbers anymore. You don't see it in the news.
I know it's sad.
Why do you Why do you like to read that hypnosis every week?
Which hypnosis?
Hypnosis about murders near your home.
What do you mean? I look at X. I'm on X fucking 50 hours a week looking at the news.
50 hours a week.
Do you agree that what you're reading is a type of hypnosis?
Of course, all communication is hypnosis. Oh.
So why do you choose X? The most anti-Semitic website of them all.
Yeah, there's a lot of Jew hate on there. It's insane.
I don't see enough.
I call them out and then they block me.
That was a good one.
I mean, you do realize that, like,
those are rookie numbers. We need to pump those numbers up.
I don't see. Your problem is you two are like an odd pairing on the internet, but in the real life, you know.
Do you think we would get along?
Honestly, who knows? You know, like.
How good do you think that sex would be?
How great would the sex be?
Yeah.
You'll have to. I don't think your opinion really counts. I think what Princessia's opinion of your performance is probably what's more interesting. You know, I mean, do you work out?
I do.
Okay, how much do you bench? How much do you squat? How many push-ups can you do? How many sit-ups can you do in 2 minutes? What's your 2-mile time? I mean, what are your actual physical?
Wait, let's. Are we going for like weight measurements, or like you want pure stamina? Is that I think I'm okay in the stamina place. Like,
how do you rate your sexual performance now versus 10 years ago? Because knowledge.
Okay.
Wait, why would it have decreased?
It should only increase if you maintain your physical standard. But I'm saying if his physical standard has decreased, if he hasn't increased his sexual capabilities, then I'm just wondering how he gauges himself.
With age, that it would increase because you've like had more experience.
Yeah, well, you do actually sort of, I guess, not marinate, but
marinate.
Ferment. It's fermentation. I mean, when listen, when I was younger, a lot of times you fuck like a robot, like just like a machine, like ba 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 ba, you know. But I'm just saying, yeah. So yeah, there you go. That's what I'm trying.
So I guess I'd have to say better.
Okay, well then, if you think you're better, then you're better. But it's all subjective or tentative until you two actually figure out whether you actually are attracted to each other. But since one of you is a widow and the other one is a divorcee, I mean, as you're, you have to talk to the rabbi to see if it's kosher and you can get your gets. I don't know.
Who's the divorcee? What are you talking about?
Anybody on this app who spends as much time as him clearly cannot be in a successful marriage. Maybe even Mixed too, because I heard Mixed on here getting into it with Gio, and it's fun. Gio is such a hothead; it's incredible.
Not even on the app.
Who?
Diego's not even on the app that much.
Oh, that's only because
a lot of times when you think I'm on the app, that's just a bot.
Yeah.
That's why we've been laughing.
He's not. He's telling the truth. He's just there. It's just a bot.
Well, you think you're making fun of me, but you're just making fun of a bot. It's just recordings of me.
I get it. But when they popped my Diego account, it was like I was free because I went as hard as I could, and then the account just got deleted, suspended, and I was like,
oh shit, that's why the trolling stopped, just because they canceled the account.
That was it, but it was an incredible experiment because I had a room of like 10 Diegos.
No, dude, you have to bring this back. I wanted to see how far this could go. According to Stokey or Abby or whatever, it was 11 accounts.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. It's basically my magnum opus or my artistic endeavor, Because it's
you see, we're like the Joker and Batman. Like, we need each other.
It's actually it's actually more like
the right hand and the left hand.
No, listen, your picture of Rhett Butler is actually probably the motif for V for Victory or V for Vendetta. Guy Fawkes.
And Joy, I think you take for granted Diego's friendship towards you. He like clearly sees you as somebody he enjoys being in his rooms, but you kind of went off the deep end when you were going after him.
Yeah, and I didn't even make the Anne Frank joke.
Yeah, it was Princessia. It was Princessia that drew.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was. You were like, "Do you like the blue eyes? Do you like the blue eyes in this Anne Frank?" Don't bring it up again. Just don't bring it up again.
I was looking for it.
Don't bring it up again, because I'm looking at dolphin pictures right now to calm down because, you know.
Well, hold on, Joy. I was looking for an Anne Frank photo, and one of them was in color.
You know,
that did happen.
I
You're
did
right.
Google whether Anne Frank was trans, and like I was looking at the pictures, and I was like, please, dear God, don't tell me that's a boy. I was like, no way, this can't be true. And I don't think that's true. But I did see the pictures, and I was like, man, what? That kind of looks like a boy. But I have looked at children.
Wow, Diego, you see after all that?
Oh, you do?
No. I've seen
That
pictures.
was a lot, by the way. I was really, you can tell when it's actually me on the app. That was me actually just telling you the things that I've read over the years.
I know, but
I've been looking this stuff up for years, dude. Decades, to be honest with you.
Oh, okay. So you're like the Augustus. Instead of UFOs, Jewish conspiracy theory is your forte. Got it.
A lot of the Wikipedia early life sections were written by me. I'm not even joking about that.
Wow, you're a Wikipedia Jewish conspiracy editor. That's incredible.
No, well, it's just, when Wikipedia first came out, I don't know, I imagine you do the same thing.
Yeah, I tried to use Wikipedia many times, and I've had, it's always been a difficult, inexhaustible, stupid fucking website to use.
That's amazing, Diego. So you were editing a lot of the Wikipedia pages early on?
Early on, I created a lot of Wikipedia pages.
That's incredible.
About what? About what, though?
With all due respect, John, it got infiltrated by Jews.
But what were you writing about?
Wow.
Everything, dude. Anything that I was reading about in high school, I was uploading and contributing to pages.
Oh, because you were a neo-Nazi in high school. I got it. I forgot.
Stop.
No, because it wasn't just that. I'm just saying, if there was something, for example, I've said this many times. Indiana Jones is my favorite series, right?
Yeah.
So, when I got on there was a Harrison Ford entry, but it didn't mention that his mother is Jewish, so I just added that to that, something important about his early life.
I thought you were going to talk about when they opened the
I feel very
tabernacle.
connected to you now that I know that you were early on in Wikipedia.
Yeah, fair.
Because my cousin, who was the smart one of us, that's when Wikipedia first came out, she's the one that used to go there and just read about everything, before any of us were on Wikipedia.
What started happening is after a while, some of these pages, especially as you can imagine, anything to do, and that's the thing. Part of it has to do with how your interest. It's why are you so obsessed with Jews? It's not that it starts off that way. What happens is that as you start to touch upon things when you're a young kid, and you don't even know.
I gotta interrupt, man. I don't know. I don't know why you think you can make your case on my YouTube channel, but if you're gonna make the case over and over and over again, and not actually read a book on this app or do anything intellectual.
Joy, what do you mean?
I love to read books on this app.
Yeah, Diego probably.
I know, but what makes you
else.
what makes you think you're actually intelligent?
I never thought I would.
So you admit you're stupid then?
You know how you know Diego's intelligent, Joy? He doesn't ever just.
I know, but I've never heard you actually discuss anything of any complexity. Princessia, I've never heard you discuss anything of any complexity either. I mean, other than the word JEW.
I mean, we found out today that I'm a little bit slow.
Well, you don't know how to pronounce
it. Do you want to get this one? Wait, go ahead and tell him.
Yeah, so I was watching Diego's favorite movie, and my silly self, for some reason, wanted to interpret one of the scenes when the monkey ate the date as he did it to show Indiana, because he couldn't communicate that it was poisoned. And so he took the date because he knew it would kill him, so that he would not eat it and not die. And I thought that the monkey self-sacrificed for Indiana Jones. Yes, I understand now that that is very retarded.
So, I mean, you know, do you think you'd actually be able to make anything creative in your life or build anything or achieve anything?
Me or Diego?
I mean, either of you.
Without telling him what the content was, what did you think about the last time that I showed you something that wasn't particularly? Well, I didn't write it, but I was acting in it. What did you think about that?
Oh yeah, the thing.
Did I
that
have comedic timing?
Yeah, it was really funny. It was really funny. It was The little commercial.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm gonna create a new account on Clubhouse, and it's gonna just be called Rodney Dangerfield, and I'm just gonna play Rodney clips in rooms, and I guarantee you that account will become very popular because essentially all comedy is just hypnosis, and so Rodney Dangerfield is a very gifted hypnotist, and his timing, his vast, unlimited depth of comedy that is pretty much all memorized. That's the performer's art, is what they're really doing.
I think you're your funniest when you're pretending to be Diego.
Well, I've done.
Can you imitate Rodney Dangerfield?
No, it's easier just to play clips of him from his YouTube channel on here, because everybody wants to listen to Rodney. I can take his transcript and read it and impersonate him, but it's not the same. There's no point, because imagine if you could create AI chatbots on here that were extremely gifted in communication to the point where they could hypnotize a room, like you said, you're talking to a bot. But imagine, if Thugga Biden was a bot.
Oh wow, he died.
Who?
Thugga Biden?
Rodney Dangerfield.
Yeah, he's gone.
Oh yeah, long time ago.
Yeah.
But he's a big, his movies are American legends. I mean, he's very funny. It's just everything about him, his look, but what he has to say. I mean, Back to School was a big movie. Caddyshack was a huge movie. Ladybugs was a huge movie. But he had comedy clubs. He was selling booze. I mean, his life is, it's interesting. He was fighting depression all the time. He was smoking weed. He couldn't make any money in comedy. He was selling shingles for houses, and doing roofing. But
is he a Jew?
Yeah, he's that. Yeah, Rodney Dangerfield is not his real name. He's got a very Jewish name.
What's his real name, Nuda? Early life. You
see how?
See, somebody had to go in there. I'm not gonna tell you it was me. Like I said, I was one of the people that would put the real names into Wikipedia. Because this is kind of what my dad used to say. Oh, these actors are Jewish, and I said, what do you mean, Dad? He's like, well, can't you tell? And I'd be like, I mean, what am I looking for here? And then I'd say, oh, this actor here. Let's just for an example, say Rodney Dangerfield. He's like, you think that's his real name? That would be my dad's.
But Diego, I feel like right now, how we say being Jewish is a religion. I actually now realize if I can identify somebody by looks, then maybe there is some truth to what it has become as an ethnicity. But what's concerning to me is before I asked, is he Jewish? Because before I looked at his name, because I just looked at his face, he kind of looked like he was related to me.
Oh, wow.
He looked very familiar. And I'm like, oh.
I don't see it at all.
Not me specifically, males in my family.
Rodney Dangerfield is like a redhead.
I have redheads in my family. My uncle, my aunt are redheads.
That doesn't count. It's not the same type of.
Have you seen my uncle and aunt, the redheads?
Please post a photo.
No, they're real redheads.
You can tell, for example, John comes from the Zach Ruda tribe, right? There are different tribes. John doesn't have any Seinfeldian DNA, right?
But
You can
Diego,
tell
my
that
my family is very, very diverse when it comes to like I have family member like my paternal uncle and paternal aunt are both redheads, and then my cousins that aren't their children all were redheads, like their parents aren't redheads. Like this is just close family that are redheads, and then I have like more distant family that's diverse in their appearance. They like we all like it's very the phenotype is very diverse. I would say I'm probably on the darker side of my family, especially the girls. Yeah.
So
But
you
let me
claim.
find. Huh? Let me find a picture of my aunt with her red hair. My uncle, I don't know if I have one, but his face looked like so like my family. Okay, let me see.
Can you try to take, John, a Rodney Dangerfield joke and adapt it to some conversation or topic that we enjoy?
Did we lose him?
I'm here, but I mean, I'm literally gonna walk out of here and go to the gym. So
It's kind of late, don't you think?
It's 8:30.
8:30.
Listen, fatty, it closes
It
at
doesn't
10.
look red in this picture, Diego.
You could lose a lot more weight if you got some quality sleep.
I do get quality sleep, but going to the gym is essential. Do you want me? I'm asking you. Do you want me to leave my YouTube streaming you, or do you want me to go to a bigger room with people that are?
Talk to us.
Talk to us. You don't have to go to the gym every day.
I do go to the gym every day. It's one of my great
you don't have to.
joys in life is to go there and see beautiful women as I sweat.
Yes, but I mean, looking at them is not healthy for you. You should be actively approaching them and trying to get in their pants. You know what I mean?
This girl came up to me yesterday and asked me to adjust the machine for her. I was like, "Are you really talking to me? You're fucking so hot."
Did you say that out loud or just thought that?
No, I mean, listen, I don't want to bother people at the gym. I'd rather bother people at the bar who are drinking.
But you could find your wife there.
I'm gonna go to yoga. There's a really hot yoga instructor, and I've seen her class. There's a lot of hot chicks in it, so I'm gonna start going to her class on Mondays.
Do you think that once you settle down, you're gonna stop streaming 24/7?
No, I wanna make a living in streaming.
I was getting notifications of your YouTube videos for your shorts.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, can I?
But I didn't want you to have my.
Isn't that a perfect example of all communication is hypnosis? It's just.
Can I try to do a job?
Milli
Can I
Vanilli.
try to adapt a Rodney Dangerfield joke?
Please.
For you?
I'm not gonna do one of. Listen, I hate to tell you this, but everything I've ever heard you put in front of me has not been very exciting.
Wow, what a hater!
Except for Thunderball, which you did not write, have anything to do with, and it's from James Bond, for God's sake.
I can't get no respect. Hey, listen, it's dangerous.
Try to get some
taking your
respect.
kids to school in California. In the morning, you drop off a girl. In the afternoon, you pick up a boy. It's so dangerous.
Yeah,
that's Rodney Dangerfield adaptation.
Don't quit your 50-hour-a-week job on here talking about the Jews.
Oh, come on. At this point, John, you know I don't have a 50-hour-a-week job. I'm just like you.
It's just like
We're
me.
two sides of the same coin. You must have picked this up by now. What the hell do you think was happening when we met at that damn gas station? You think it was just a coincidence?
I have no idea what you're doing.
Wait, Joy, why were you stalking him?
I don't know, but my sister invited me to go back. She's going there for 2 months, so I might go back to La Jolla.
Let's meet up. Let's do it.
She told me I have to get a hotel, though, so I was like, I wanted to sleep in the tent outside of their luxury RV. She's like, sorry, can't sleep in a tent. I was like, I can't sleep in a tent? I gotta pay $289 a night to stay at the fucking Hampton?
Oh,
just bill your superiors for it.
Just go ahead and just go ahead. Yeah.
By the way, Diego, I don't know if you can see the screen, but Melissa's here.
Who's here? Yeah, I
Melissa?
tried to call her. Yeah. McZed was in her briefing, but.
Oh, I didn't see him.
Yeah, you should definitely come. I would offer you to stay in my guest house, but it would only work out if my parents were traveling.
No, honestly, I don't think I'm gonna go out. I think I'm just gonna have to.
Wouldn't that be funny if he was fucking doing his live streams, if he brought all his phones?
I'd be worried about you, Diego.
We'd have to get a whole new, he couldn't just be bumming off my Wi-Fi. He'd fucking have to, do you have a little box or anything?
I do. I have a
Wi-Fi box?
No. I mean, I just hotspot my cell phone.
You can't hotspot 20 phones on one cell phone.
You can't. I usually just do 2 at a time.
Okay. So what's all the 20 phones for? Oh, it's just to manage the account.
Yeah, it's because every phone has an Instagram, every phone has a YouTube, every phone has a Snapchat, every phone has a TikTok, every phone has a.
Dude, I've got extra phones. Do you want some?
No, I'm good.
Or you're good.
I don't need any more. I assure you.
Okay.
Believe me, my
Were
sister.
they by donation? Did you buy them, or are they just accumulated over time?
No, these are $50 burner phones. They're all track phones.
I'm gonna beat you on
track
phone stuff.
Yeah, track phone is it's just another cell phone provider. It runs off a Sprint network or whatever.
Oh, it's like Boost.
Yeah, it's just you get the lowest package. It's $15 for 30 days.
Wow, you have actual phone numbers for each phone?
No, I don't pay monthly. You're not listening. It's a 30-day burner phone for $15. It's a $50 burner phone and a $15 a month package. It's $65.
But you keep the phone for more than 30 days.
Yeah, because then I live stream myself on the new burner phone, live streaming Clown House, in an incredible attempt to try to generate views that never come.
But then, what we like to know that you never give up. We like that about
you.
Well,
again, the whole thing.
Like the Rocky of trolls.
The whole thing for me
but
was.
Joy, you're getting views. One of your shorts got 26 likes or 27 likes. Good job.
Yeah, those are going well. But honestly, again, the whole thing was to try to do whatever I could do for Trump on Clown House, and I really disrupted Clown House quite a bit. So. And that was really my whole goal. I personally
like that you're recording and streaming this.
Well, I personally like that he's in a good mood and he's talking to us like a regular human being.
Yeah, I agree. Because Joy, it was 2 days before you kind of went boop boop. You were apologizing, being nice.
Oh, I know. The point is, listening to you talk about which Anne Frank photo Diego likes more. Sort of just, that was when I realized that it's not a you.
That was what triggered you.
I realized then it's not a you problem. It's a me problem. And, again, I mean, I'm not really complimenting you. You may be laughing, but I got to tell you, I hope things work out well for you. That's all I'm really trying to say, I suppose. Good luck.
I just want to know where the dandruff came from.
Can I just play what? This is what happened when he heard us talking about it. Just blew a gasket. This is what happened basically.
It's got to be Roger Rabbit. Was that Roger Rabbit?
Bugs Bunny.
Oh, Bugs Bunny. Yeah, I mean, anyways.
You can hear it?
No, we can hear it. We can hear it. It was sound like Bugs Bunny.
It's Roger Rabbit when he drinks. How he just goes apeshit.
It's very true, and I think you do see a lot of people on this app that drink, and you see the bad, behavior, and Also, the slurred speech behavior. You know.
Well, I've always had a knack of making people get triggered like that.
You?
Yeah. I've had that since I was a little kid.
Oh.
I've always had that ability to make people lose it.
You didn't make me lose it. It was Princessia again asking you which picture of Anne Frank, the one with the blue eyes. Like that's when I realized that I'm dealing with extremely stupid, retarded people.
No, listen. There is a colored one of her where they made her eyes blue.
Listen, the point is, if we were living if we were living in communism or some type of a forced economic environment for survival, you would be forced to have the most meaningless, trivial job because you would be incapable of doing anything useful for the survival of the human race.
Joy, you're being a little bit mean now. Go back to being nice.
I'm just telling you, it's an opportunity cost to listen to you talk about Anne Frank's PTR and whether you like the blue picture or the... You see my point? That it's not a you problem. It's a me problem. I gotta listen to this shit. So when I lose it, it's not because I dislike you personally. I just think, that it's crazy for me to listen to you guys talk about this shit. Now you see my mental health dilemma. Why would I sit here and listen to this shit? It's stupid. You guys are stupid. You're stupid people. You're asking me why. I'm giving you the explanation on why I feel and think this way. It's not just a you problem. It's a me problem for listening to you.
But wasn't he trying to bring Diego into your hypnosis with your rooms? Wasn't that the plan?
What, Melissa?
I thought he wanted to bring Diego into his hypnosis.
Yeah. I heard him say that.
So, but why did you stop your rooms? Why did you come in here?
He lost his account.
He wanted to lose his account. That's why he started doing that. He subconsciously.
Well, no, I told you guys I was gonna nuke my account and go Roger Mayhem. Then I thought to myself, I've already done that. That would be a really... So the Diego account lasted for like 72 hours, I believe, until finally, you or Princessia reported me and got my account nuked.
No, it was not. But I know who reported it.
Who reported it?
Yeah, Christy and Jigaboo.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So because you got clips, that's why you stopped?
What?
Because you got clipped, you waved the white flag?
Do you not know how this app works? I can't just snap my fucking fingers and create a new account, pull it out of my ass cheeks.
I actually thought that you could.
Can you be nice?
I thought you could.
Yeah.
Like, the thing that I like about Joy is that at least when you're being mean, you can say something to you. Other people, if they're being really nasty, you can't say something, because if you say something, they're just going to go like 100. At least you can be reasoned with.
I know, but you should say that to yourself, because I'm sure you have terrible moments on this app as well. It's all projection.
Sometimes.
Sometimes,
but I'm very intentional in how I engage on this app.
Yeah, well, congratulations.
I made it more peaceful.
Yes, he has. Diego has peaceful eyes.
Listen, my name is Joy.
We're working on the retarded part.
My name is Joy. This beautiful girl that I used to date named Anna, she had a dog named Joy, and this dog was the furthest thing from joy. It pissed and shit everywhere. It tore everything apart, gave you no peace, ate my wallet apart one day, destroyed all my credit cards, my debit cards, my driver. It ate all my stuff in my wallet.
Sorry.
Would it go onto the bed while you're trying to have sex?
Yes, it was the worst.
You were telling us, Diego, that
I broke up with a girl because I kicked a little dog off the bed one time.
I never went that far.
She saw me doing it, and that was it.
I was honestly in such a good mood and so happy to be with this girl. Yeah, this dog could never ruin my good mood because I like this chick a lot. But eventually, she told me one day, I went over to her house and she said, I got to tell you something. I said, what? She said, I sucked a guy's dick for an ounce of weed the other day. And I was
God.
wow.
Dude,
I was like,
sounds like
well,
a Diogenes story.
I was like, I guess I'm like, I'll never be able to forgive this or forget that. So I was like, so this relationship is pretty much, ugats now. I was like, I realized at that moment that she was,
Why
not
did
only
she
was
do
she,
that?
not only was
Why
I,
didn't you just give her the weed?
Yeah, why didn't she just ask you for the ounce of weed?
well, I just realized that not only was I dealing with a disrespectful person, I was dealing with a stupid person. There are very stupid people out
Did she
there.
ask you for the weed?
No, she just told me this unsolicited as I came over
Wait,
to
did
her
you go
house.
get tested? Because that's really nasty.
The point is, it's a little bit like Clubhouse in the sense that she was obviously trolling me to see if she could get me upset.
One time this girl shared my drink and I went and got pissed because she shared my drink. I get grossed out by people.
I actually had a girl in college. She was really hot, and we went out to a party together. I can't remember, we had already hooked up or whatever, and we went to a party together, and she started sharing weed with other individuals. Like, she did one of those things where they're passing around the do, and I had to be 18, and I was like, this is nasty. I don't want to be sharing like the weed with these people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
Nasty.
I remember this girl, Elise. Now she's on YouTube. Thanks to Joy. We were out eating at a restaurant. Her mom, me, and she drank from my cup, and I was so grossed out that she drank from my cup. I was like, why did you drink from my cup?
Listen, most problems
Nasty.
always come out because of alcohol. Like when I was a kid, my aunt.
It was a Mediterranean restaurant.
I know, but was she drinking?
No, it was just water. She just drank from my cup.
Oh.
And maybe used my straw or something. I don't remember.
I would drink from your cup.
Huh?
I would drink from your cup.
I would drink from your cup, Diego.
Wow, a couple of cup drinkers on the internet. You're like a couple of kids in high school on AOL Instant Messenger in 1996 chatting about the Jews. Like, you guys never grew up.
Was there really internet in 1996? I don't believe
Yeah.
There was.
Yeah. And you don't even know what TV show that's a quote from. That's from Tony Soprano. He's like, I saw my fucking kid chit-chatting on the fucking computer. I wanted to rip his fucking head off. You guys are retarded. Well,
I do remember getting on AOL chat at my uncle's house with my cousins and finding Palestinians, and we would learn about stuff relating to Palestine from them when we were kids. I learned about
shit, that's amazing. When I was a kid, I used to look up Atlantis. I also used to look up the fall of the Roman Empire. I used to look up all kinds of historical things on the internet and read history
When
books.
did you get internet though? How old are you?
Oh my god, that's a good question, I guess. I got my first compact computer, and I was playing Warcraft in the 8th grade, which would have been
what about Oregon Trail?
1999, I guess. I don't know, 1998. Oh yeah, we had computers prior to that, but
what about where in the
we
world?
had a Tandy, and we could do dial-up. We could get the dictionary and shit like that.
Wow.
What was it? Britannica? That was the big thing, right? That was the first thing they put the Britannica on the internet.
Do you know? I actually think the reason why I stayed a Muslim growing up, even though my Islam and my family wasn't the best representation, was because of the internet. I would go on the internet and just read about Islam.
Is it your Islam?
I used to go to this website called themodernreligion.com. I looked it up recently to see if it still existed, but I don't know if it's. I don't think it was the same because I just used to go on there and look up the questions, read stuff about it. But that's the website that I used to go to a lot when I was a kid, themodernreligion.com.
Do you think that the Jews and the Christians are worshiping the same God as the Muslims?
I believe that there's only one God. I believe that there's only one God. So when you worship, you're worshiping God.
Right, but it's
if somebody doesn't have religion and looks up to the sky and says something to God, I my mind can't tell me that it's a different God because I only believe there's one God.
But what does one God mean?
The Creator.
Right. What is the Creator? See, the point is you know words, but you know, I mean, you could also say what you're saying in Arabic. You know, I'm not trying to be like.
He's right, Nora.
I'm just saying that
Break it down for me. What is your
this is philosophy or wonder, meaning that like self.
Actually, can I play something? I want to. Well.
Nora,
I don't
hold
want
on.
to play it. Huh?
Hold on. He was going on a spiel.
Okay, go ahead. Because I was going to say something about Aristotle and the Muslims, because he started talking about philosophy.
I mean, the whole thing is God, but you know, the point is, if you think that Islam is the greatest slice of cheese pizza you've ever had in your life, and you've never tried Chicago cheeseburger, or you've never tried, you know, La Ciudad de Burrito, you know, I'm not saying that what your beliefs are wrong, but I'm just saying that if you're so exclusive, or you know, you have this my Islam attitude, or my, you know, I just don't think that. Anyways, I mean, maybe you'll become smarter one day, but you know, for the time being, you're just a dolphin.
You got a point, Nora. You're just a dolphin.
What's a dolphin, Diego?
Dolphins are so intelligent, though.
Oh my God! Did you see that video of the dolphin bringing the sea turtle to be helped by humans?
Yeah.
Wow.
They can communicate with dolphins. They can actually teach them a form of language.
I mean,
Who can communicate with dolphins?
Diego, why are you agreeing with Joy? Like,
the point is, aren't you an American?
Barely.
I mean, you have
What if they called them the
you have citizenship, right? I mean, apparently you like Palestinian history. What do you know about American history? Because, you know, according to you, the one God is the true God. I mean, what do you think the founding fathers of this country believed in? I mean, they believed in the one God.
I believe that American history really starts with the Reconstruction era.
Okay, so
It starts after the Civil War.
Yeah.
You should study Freemasonry if you actually want to know more about God, because the founding fathers, it's on the dollars. The country is Freemasonic, and there's still.
I mean, Diego, a lot of the amendments that we have today happened happened during the Reconstruction era.
No, but he's right about what he's saying. It's right there. Like, for example, I mean, it's anti-Catholic, right? The Catholic Church is called the. Oh God.
It's the whore of Babylon. It's the Babylonian mystery religion.
Well, the Catholic Church is called the. I can't remember the word, and it's not obviously Novus Ordo Seclorum or whatever. It's the. Okay, I can't remember what the word is, but anyway, it means so. New World Order is what it says in our money, right? That's the Masonic stuff. But the Catholic Church specifically calls itself the Old World Order.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the Catholic Church calls it. So when they called it the New World Order, that's a Masonic thing.
Yep. The Catholic Church and the Freemasons of Europe, you know, waged war. There's Jacques de Molay. There's all these martyrs within Freemasonry that died at the hands of the Catholic Church. So America is, you know, it's a religious war because Americans were competing against the Church of England, and the Church of England was competing against the Roman Catholic Church. So you're talking about in-groups and out-groups within Christendom or
why
Christianity.
do you all believe that there's more than one God that people like worship?
What?
Because it says you will honor no other gods above me. Right?
I don't know. Not familiar with.
Are you saying? Are you confusing the Catholic God versus the Church of God, that kind of thing?
No. What does the 10th Commandment say about gods?
Yeah, you're right. The way that you word it is true. Even when I was reading in the Old Testament, I was kind of taken aback by how there was like this idea of other gods kind of told in the different books.
You've seen her?
Yeah, but don't you think that's irrational?
No, it's because Christ is the King of all kings, the God above all gods.
But there's only one.
Yeah, I mean it's.
I mean, I just
same
like
concept.
with just like without like the concept of religion, the way my brain works is like I go to a single point, like I go all the way back and to a point where everything begins and that emanates.
Oh, that's
and
fascinating,
It has to be
Princessia.
from
Just
one.
you see, I know you guys like to talk in terms of all really stupid. The point is, imagine watching a movie about Jesus Christ and then watching a movie about Muhammad. Princessia, you're gonna say, "Oh, that movie about Muhammad was so much better."
Why do you think? No. Why do you think?
can't watch
You
movies
think
about
you could
Muhammad.
actually like a movie about Jesus more than Muhammad?
Of course.
Really?
Why wouldn't I?
Okay, maybe if it's actually a better movie.
I think you're confused about the Muslim versus the Jew.
You're missing my point, Princessia. The point is people's religious preferences are geographic. It's it's where you're born. It's your programming. So
you know that there are people that are born in the same area that I could have been born in, which obviously I wasn't born there.
On the greater average is all I'm saying. Anyways, I'm not trying to make a. Anyways, I don't really want to argue or even debate because I'm got to go to the gym. So.
Yeah, go to the gym.
No, you're gonna stay and talk
Fetty,
to us.
go to the gym. No, go to the gym, Fetty. Isn't it kind of funny in Christianity, in white Anglo Christianity, you can depict Christ in all kinds of ways, but you can't name your kids Jesus. But in Islam, you can't depict Muhammad, but every kid's named Muhammad.
But pardon.
Yeah, but in Mexico, everybody.
Yeah, they call it
everybody's
all the
Jesus.
time. Yeah.
I said white Anglo. Mexicans don't count. They're not real people.
Yeah, but it's not. You don't just depict. You don't.
Spanish too, though.
I really like Mexicans. I've been interacting with them.
It was a fucking
but
joke.
Pardon.
Jesus.
But pardon. We don't depict any of the messengers. Not just Muhammad.
Because you guys can't draw.
No, that's the Orthodox Christians.
Speaking of Orthodox Christians.
That's right.
Speaking of Orthodox Christians, there was a chat where somebody was saying that Orthodox Christians became Muslim, and Randy's like, they wouldn't be Orthodox Christian if they became Muslim, right? So I Googled to find if I could find any Orthodox Muslim that has ever become a Muslim, and I found this Orthodox Christian priest that became a Muslim, and before he was an Orthodox Christian, so he was an Orthodox Christian from 1978, and then was a priest for 2 years. Before that, he was Anglican, and that's like the church, like what they explained it as. He was part of the Church of England. That's what the Anglican are. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really interesting. Listening to why he converted to Islam.
Sounds like he's wishy-washy.
No. No, he was Orthodox for like 20 or 30 years, maybe 30 years, and then became priest for 2 years, and then became Muslim.
I'm on my computer right now. I'm not on my phone. But you could get. I mean, they do have mics that you could use for your phone. They're not that expensive.
I'll stick to what I got.
You sound good.
Okay.
You sound good.
But I'm trying to get bitches, Mike. I mean, Scott.
I mean, look, if you're trying to, you're trying to roll like me, that's different.
And someone else interrogate him with me, I feel like.
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Alone.
More about reason than, I don't know, people probably would take me out of Sunni Islam if I'm being, like, they probably wouldn't see me as a Sunni Muslim at this point. Because I really, really trust his thoughts. I mean, I pray like a Sunni. So, yeah. Does that make sense?